welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna be talking about Shaylene's pregnancy, labor, and delivery story time. I don't know if this is gonna be 2 parts, but if it is, just bear with me, okay? Because I'm gonna be also adding pictures and videos just like I did for Chanel. I was thinking about how I'm gonna start this story. So obviously it makes sense for me to go all the way to the beginning before she even existed. I want to start with back in 2021 December. That's when COVID, I feel like COVID was at its highest peak. I feel like I was planning Chanel's birthday, her 3rd birthday party, and it was gonna be in a hall. It was gonna be clown. It was gonna be a big party. Why, I don't know, because she was turning 3. I don't know, that's a little weird age to do a big party, but yeah. So when I was planning the party and everything, 2 days before the party, I was tested positive for COVID. Me, Chanel, and my baby daddy. So I created a close friends to let everybody know that I was gonna cancel the party because we had COVID. From that day on, I used that close friends like a diary. Like, I was posting everything on there, and people will always tell me like, oh, stop posting your business and stuff like that. But me, I can't help it. I don't know what it is that I just feel the need to talk, to spit it out. And I don't care what you have to say about me. Like, I wish people knew how much I don't give a shit. Like, if you're gonna laugh about my situation, talk about my situation, I don't care. Like, anyways, I said that to say this. When I go back to my close friends' memories, to 2022, I feel like I start to feel the same way that I did at that moment, which is why I don't really like talking about or revisiting Shaylene's everything, my pregnancy experience, my labor. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just, I just felt sad. Like, I was so sad. Okay, so yeah, I need to be careful because I don't want to bash my BD, but I feel like that was a hard time in my life, but I still chose to take him back. So I need to be careful what I say, okay? But one day I'll be open about everything, just not now. So yeah, October 2021, it was my dad's birthday, and I went to go get him something at Dollar Tree. I forgot what it was. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with his gift. And so I said, I haven't got my period all September. Let me take a test because I missed my period or whatever, and that's how I know. So October 7th, I took a pregnancy test, and I saw that there was a line there, but it wasn't too dark, so I couldn't tell. And I'm gonna see if I find the picture so I can show you. But I took 3, and the line was there, but it wasn't dark. So I asked Tata, and I'm like, does this mean, do you think that this means no? Or does this mean yeah? And she said, doesn't look like it. So I said, okay. But I already knew. I'm like, no, yeah, it is. So I scheduled an appointment with my doctor, my GYN. And she ended up taking a pregnancy test, and it was positive. So this was the middle of October now. So yeah, I went to my appointment. They did everything that day. I felt like I can't remember if by that time, if the first time that I went to my appointment, they found the heartbeat, because I didn't have to go to another hospital, so I feel like they did. I remember telling my baby daddy about it, and he seemed like a little more hesitant, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, you know? He was telling me, oh, like, how we gonna do it or whatever, like, we're not financially stable, we're already struggling. And I'm just like, but at the time I got hired to be a paraprofessional. So when I went to Brooklyn to get my DOE ID, I remember we got into a really bad argument. And I told myself, I said, somebody got you acting like that. But you know what? I'ma leave you. I'ma leave you. You can say whatever you want. He was violating, and so was I. Like, we were just violating each other. I said, I'ma leave you alone. But don't worry about me. Like, I literally told him that. I said, you good. Like, ew. Like, you know? Because at this point, I was thinking, you just fucking with another bitch and you don't know how to tell her that I'm pregnant. That's what it was. Thank you. You know, I thought about that argument and I was like, I think I'm gonna have to get an abortion because this was crazy. I don't think we ever argue like that. Scheduled an appointment to get an abortion. And they sent me to Yonkers. So that day comes and I didn't go to my appointment. I'm like, I want my baby. I think I want my baby. Real quick, because you know how we be forgetting stuff at the moment and then we'll remember later on. I remember the beginning of my pregnancy, I went to the hospital because I was in a lot of pain and I thought I was having a miscarriage. So when I went to the hospital or whatever, he's still wishing out, and my mom took me. When I got to the hospital and they checked me in and stuff like that, I told them, oh, I'm like 8-9 weeks pregnant or whatever. Girl, they ended up taking me to the maternity section, and they did a sonogram on me. And that's when I heard the heartbeat for the first time. That's when I heard the heartbeat for the first time. And he was saying, oh, but did you tell them that you're not gonna keep it? Because this was when I was still hesitant on whether I was gonna get the abortion or not. And I said, no, I'm not gonna say that. So I think he put it together afterwards. So I just let the day go by. We start arguing again. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna have to get the abortion or whatever. Let me just get the abortion. They gave me a date, but they gave me a later time, which is weird because, I don't know. And that day comes and I'm scheduled to go to work. So I decided to go to work instead of my appointment. And he's calling my phone like, what are we gonna do? And I'm just like, I want my baby. I want my kid. Whatever. He was like, all right. So I guess our problem started because I kept saying that I was gonna have the abortion instead of just saying that I wanted to keep the baby. At the time, I knew something was up. It was so weird. I knew something was up. Y'all know how I told y'all. First of all, I kept the baby, but I didn't tell nobody. Nobody at work. I was working at the shelter at the time. Nobody at work knew. Other people barely knew until I was like 5 months pregnant. When I found out that I was having another girl, that's when I decided to announce my pregnancy. Everybody was so clueless because, you know, I was protecting my baby because I'm already going through mad shit with this man. And, you know, so anyways, that was October. November come, whatever. December come, I'm planning Chanel's birthday party. The same birthday that I was supposed to have the year before because of COVID. That was canceled. I had it this year. Everything that I was supposed to do the year before, I did it that year, 2021. That means the whole COVID party was 2020, not 2021. So 2021 December, when I was planning Chanel's birthday, he wasn't really doing anything to help me. He was just giving me the money and everything. But the candy, I went to go get it. Everything, I went to go get it myself. I'm like, this feels so weird. Like, he wasn't asking me questions about the party. He wasn't telling me nothing. Like, we was barely even talking. And I'm just like, who is this man fucking with that got him acting like a little bitch? It's the day of Chanel's birthday party. And I seen somebody text him. The name of the person was the same name as his cousin. So I'm here talking mad shit to him, and he's convincing me that he's talking to his cousin. He's like, if only you knew who that was, and look at how you act, and but that's literally the same name as his cousin. And I believed it, right? So that morning of Chanel's birthday, I was 3 months pregnant now, 4. 3, almost 4. We fighting the day of Chanel's birthday party, and I'm doing all this running around, pregnant. No, I'm doing all this running around to make sure that Chanel doesn't miss anything for her birthday. And he's in the house sleeping the whole time. He came to the party, but he wasn't helping us take the stuff back and forth to the hall, and that's an issue. Thank you. That's it. Chanel's phone is dead, but while it charges, I'm gonna tell you one thing that I do remember. Oh, I actually turned on right away. I didn't even want to socialize with nobody. The only person that was really there for me, and the only person that I really wanted to talk to was Aliyah. Literally. And I tell her this all the time. Like, she was the only person that I wanted to be around. Okay, yeah. So for Christmas Eve, I was with my mother-in-law and Chris and Jessica. But it was just us. It was really like intimate. I don't know where he was at. Yeah. So I think I had went over there for a little bit, and then I ended the night at my mom's house. And my mom's house, my aunt and stuff like that, I think they had like a little cold and stuff like that, because I'm looking at my memories now. And it looked like we had a good time. I went to go pick up Chanel's gifts.
Just pull it.
Wow, Chanel!
Oh, that door is almost her size.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's Elmo? No, later, okay?
This is so cute.
This is so cute. Oh my goodness, you love it?
I want kitchen.
You want the kitchen? And also, I want to tell you that Chanel was enrolled in 3K at the time. And I would never send her because I always wanted to be with her. That's how you know that I was going through some shit. I wasn't even sending her to school because I just wanted to be with her all the time. That was that. Spent the whole December, spent the whole January stressed. And what happened? I used to talk to myself a lot. I said, just, like, because I already know that there was something going on. Just relax. You're pregnant. Keep your peace and your baby healthy. And you figure out everything else later. Because the only thing that matters is the baby. So it ended up being my birthday. And my friend Trish, she comes to my mother-in-law's house and she decorates for me. Which I'm going to show ya. Oh, and my dad too. I had my car at the time, and every time there was something wrong with my car, like, my dad would be there in a heartbeat fixing it, making sure that I have my car. I remember I had told him to go put gas in my car, and he was bitching about that too. And he tried to tell me that, okay, no, that doesn't matter. So I'm just going to show you pictures of my little birthday setting and how I looked at the time. I was like 5 months pregnant. I was about to find out the gender of my baby. So for my birthday, I actually forgot that I had a sonogram appointment. So I'm going to show you the picture. I think that's my first sonogram after I found out that I was having a girl. So yeah. Next day we had went to Florida. I'm like, no, like, I want to get away. I want to go be with my sister. I want to go be with my family. So it was me, the twins, my dad, my sister, all together in her house in Florida. When I went to go pick up the gender, it was in an envelope, right? And I had went to my GYN appointment for a checkup, because, you know, you got to go on, I think, monthly or every couple weeks. She gave me the envelope. I said, you know, I didn't have a gender reveal for Chanel. Let me have one for this baby. Girl, tell me how I go into the parking lot. I was supposed to give the envelope to Margaret or Ellie. I forgot. When I get in the car, I open it and I see gender consistent with female. I said, what? I started crying again because I wanted a boy again. I start crying. I call Ellie or Margaret. I don't know. I just start crying. I'm like, oh my God, it's another girl. And I just remember whoever it was, they were just like, Cheys, like, it's a blessing at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you got. Calming me down. Because who act like that when they find out the gender of their baby? They get crying. I'm going to also show you some pictures of the little review that I did on Instagram. And when I did it on Instagram, nobody believes me. Like I said, it's time. Girl, mom. All right, so that was January. We ended January going to Florida, and I had a good time. I was glowing. I felt so pretty. Like, I love my belly so much.
Basta.
¿Cómo está grabando, mi?
Saka crema sa basa.
Yeah. Ven acá, tu reguero.
Y'all don't believe it's me?
Basta.
Look at my belly.
Basta, mami.
Look at that one.
Basta, mami.
I'm about to give birth, y'all.
Oh my God.
At the time, I felt like going to work was like an escape from my reality. Like, I loved going to work. I loved being at work. I would get there mad early all the time. I would not call out. Like, yo, I wanted to be at work. I did not play that shit because, you know, at home I was going through a lot of shit. And I was always so sad. I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, if it's not just on my day off with Chanel, then I don't want to be here. February, Elia gives me my first gift for my girl. She got me a little blanket for Chanel, for Shailene. Oh my God. And I was so happy. For Shailene, I did go to the hospital a few times. I remember there was a time that I was at work and Elia had to call me a cab. Elia had to call me a cab so that I could go to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, I went to right there on 238 in Allen, Presbyterian. When I got to the hospital, I was limping. Like, I got out the cab and I was limping to the door. I was by myself. I was limping to the emergency room, walking. And somebody seen me and they was like, you okay? You okay? Girl, tell me why 4 people came out running out to put me in a wheelchair. Girl, I started crying. And then I remember when I got there and I was laying down on the bed, there was no rooms available because it was packed. So they had me like isolated on a bed in one of the hallways or whatever. And girl, the nurse came and she couldn't find the heartbeat to my baby. I was in there panicking, so they got me some juice to see if that could wake up the baby. And eventually she came or whatever. She still couldn't find the heartbeat, so they had to call a supervisor. Bro, I was shitting bricks. I was like, oh my God, don't tell me I'm losing my baby right now. Because I was cramping so bad. And now you can't find the heartbeat. So then the other supervisor came and that's when she was like, oh yeah, she was able to find it. She was like, oh my God, she scared me for a minute. I'm like, bitch, I don't play with you like that. And then there was another time that I went to the hospital and Elia's car, Ellie had gotten into a little accident with her car and her passenger door wasn't able to open wide enough for me and my big ass belly. So I had to drive myself to the ER because she had like a punch bucky. I don't know the name of it, but it looks like a punch bucky. So girl, I drove myself to the hospital in her punch bucky while she was in the passenger seat. that was another day that I was in so much pain. I think I went to the hospital a good 4 times with Shaylene's pregnancy. 4 times. That was crazy. There was another time. I wish I could tell y'all the dates. Let me see. Hold on. I didn't even finish what I was gonna say. That part. There was a time that I was home. It was my day off, and I was taking Chanel a bath, and a sharp pain again started hitting my back, but it was so strong that I couldn't even get up. So I had to take Chanel out the bath to see if I run hot water on it, it would calm down. It didn't calm down. When I got in the shower, I couldn't even get out. So I had to tell Chanel, I said, Chanel, give me my phone so I could call somebody. And that's when I called my mom and my mother-in-law, and I went right back to the hospital. Y'all, so tell me, so I went to Florida January 26th for my birthday, and then I went again March 9. Oh, so let me tell you something that happened February. Somebody writes me and tells me he's still fucking with I'm like, what? She gonna tell me, oh, I know her address and I know where she work at if you wanna go. So I said, fuck yeah, give it to me. I'll go right now. Shorty stops answering me. I'm like, hello, give it to me. Like, whatever. I literally double text her, like, hello, like, are you gonna give me the address? She goes, yeah, but I said, oh my God, this girl is talking too much. Like, I hate when people talk so much. Like, are you gonna give me the fucking address or not? Obviously, you're not gonna give it to me, because if you would have given it to me, if you wanted to give it to me, you would have gave it to me already, and I would have been on my way already. You're doing too much. So now I think you're lying. So now, because, oh my God, it's a long story, but I know the girl, like, she is one of his best friends, BM. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe because she got into an argument with his best friend or whatever, like, she's just trying to fuck up everybody's shit now. That's how I was thinking. And she wasn't giving me the address, so I'm like, yeah, you bullshitting or whatever. And she never wrote back to me. I'm just like, wow. But now that's still with me. And I'm like, okay, so something's obviously going on with this girl. So let me just, again, relax. I only got a couple months left till my pregnancy's over. Just chill. Forgot to mention that when she had sent me that message, I had wrote the girl. And the girl was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't spoken to him in so long. Lying through her motherfucking teeth for this man. Had this man feeling himself. That's why I'm gonna smack her every time I see her. Thank you. Because how dare you make a man feel more than what he is. Slow ass bitch. And she was like, I feel so sorry for you that you think that he's talking to me. She was what? Also, at the time, I used to live in my first apartment in Sawmill. It was a little apartment. And so I wasn't with my mother-in-law at the time, like, too much. Or my mom. Like, I never used to go see anybody. Like, so there was times when my mother would pick me up and she would take me out to the diner. She would take me out to eat. She would bring me a coffee, a butterroll, or I'll go over to her house to eat dinner, because we only lived like 6 minutes apart, driving. So I used to either drive over there and eat, and then I'll come back home, and then yeah. So I was always like by myself for the most part, unless I was at work, which is why I loved going to work, because it distracted me from a lot of the shit that I was going on at home. Thank you. When I announced my pregnancy in January, when I found out the gender, that's when everybody else started finding out, because I just fucking popped into at work with a big ass belly. They was like, what the fuck? Like, why you didn't say nothing or whatever, girl? And I'm just like, I should have been said something, because the way that they were spoiling me at work, you would have had to kill me to miss a day. Anything that I wanted, I had. Like, literally. Like, it was in my hands. That's right then and there. And when somebody has something or orders something, girl, they would put some away from me without even asking me if I wanted some. Like, it was just always, it was food and this and drinks and this, and I did a cake for you and this, everything. Okay, so March, you know, we go to Orlando. At that time, Chanel started watching Encanto. the movie. And she will replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it. That up until this very day, when I watch the Encanto movie or when I listen to any of their songs, it reminds me of when I was pregnant with Shailene. I remember when I was in Florida. He was in Florida too. And he came to see us. He brought us food. He brought us everything that I needed. But he didn't stay. And I'm like, no, but this is weird. This is weird. You know, it's still adding up. Everything is just still adding up. I'm like, all right, whatever. I left that alone. I left a lot of shit alone. I was leaving everything alone. I didn't care. The first day that I got to Florida, I came like, I think 2 days or 1 day before my mom. Because I felt like the flights were cheaper. So what I did was, even though that was dumb because I ended up spending more because I ended up staying at a hotel when I landed at Orlando. My sister lives in Fort Lauderdale, so I couldn't go to Fort Lauderdale from Orlando, obviously. But I went to a hotel and I stood there with Chanel, and that's when he came and he brought me everything that I needed for the hotel until I was able to leave for the Airbnb. That's why I found it weird that he didn't stay, because I'm like, you're gonna let us stay at a hotel by ourselves? Like, that's so fucking weird. But anyways, whatever. I took Chanel to the pool. The next day, we woke up early, got some breakfast, took her to the pool, and then we went out to the Airbnb. At the time, I was really hooked on playing Cheys. So that's what used to keep me, like, really... When I wasn't at work and I was home on my days off, I used to play Cheys with Elia. And the days would go by so fast because I was distracted. It sounds crazy, but I was hooked on that shit hard. Like, so anyways, I went to Florida for a couple days. I think we went to Florida for like 5 days. Stayed at a nice Airbnb. My mom was feeding me my favorite breakfast, my plátano, whatever I wanted, she gave it to me. I'm gonna also put some pictures of the trip too, because I feel like that was a good time during the pregnancy. I was happy there because I was with my family and I didn't feel so alone. So while I was in Florida, I'm sleeping. And I get a call, but I don't answer, obviously, because I'm sleeping. So my mother-in-law, she calls my sister, and she tells my sister to wake me up because she needs to talk to me about something. But my mother-in-law ended up telling my sister that I got accepted to a 2-bedroom rent stabilized apartment. And I said, oh shit, what? And on the paper, it said that they were going to give me a 2-bedroom. Usually, if you have a girl, whatever, they give you a 1-bedroom, but they gave me 2. I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. And I'm pregnant, and I didn't even put that I was pregnant on the papers when I filled out them sheets. I said, wow. So when I came back, I saw the apartment, and it was big. And I said, yeah, I want to be here or whatever. And the block was quiet. Like, if I tell you where I live, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, she lives in the ghetto. But it's quiet around here, like, literally. Like, I feel like if you go 2 blocks down, then it gets a little crazy over there. But right here where they put me, it was perfect. So I came back home from my Florida trip, and I signed my papers, and I also got approved to be a para. So I said, oh, this is about to be popping. Like, oh my gosh. So y'all know when I told you that I went to go get my my DOE ID? Tell me how when I got my ID or whatever, I was able to work or whatever. You get to pick what school you want to go to be a para or whatever. Because you're not assigned in a school yet because you're just starting. So you just go wherever's available for the week. Tell me why I scheduled to go to a certain school that it was by my house. And the next day I couldn't get up because I was so sick. Like, I was so nauseous. So I kept rescheduling. Eventually, they didn't fucking let me do it anymore because I kept canceling my shifts. So that was that. That's why I just started working at the shelter. And so then when I got approved to this 2-bedroom apartment, I also got a interview for a teacher position at a school, a teacher assistant position at a school. But I felt like it didn't make sense to quit my job where I was working at and go to another job because I was about to give birth and go on maternity leave, you know? So yeah, all of this was March. The ending of March, everybody kept telling me to do a registry for my baby. And I did. And a lot of people from my close friends and a lot of people from my job, they got me like almost everything off the registry. I was like, oh shit. And I remember when I moved into this apartment, I organized it so nicely in the closet, just waiting for my baby. And I was so happy because I'm like, damn, like, people actually care. You know, I don't need this motherfucker to care. Other people care about me. I don't give a shit about him, you know? So yeah, but we still ended up moving all together here, knowing what he was doing and everything like that. He still wanted to move with me. So I was like, whatever. You know, I was just, I guess, having faith that eventually something's gonna get better, but they got worse. So yeah, March 19 was the hospital in a lot of pain. And when I got to the hospital, they told me that I was already having contractions at 33 weeks. But they said that my cervix was still closed, so didn't have nothing to worry about. So I wasn't giving signs to give birth. It was just like strong contractions. But it stopped eventually. But those contractions, I couldn't fucking breathe. Like, they was hurting so bad. But they ended up sending me home. I had posted these prenatal gummies is fucking nasty. That's mad funny. I never took prenatals. I couldn't do it with none of the girls. Okay, I'm trying to find out if I'm missing anything else. April, I'm still working, but I barely have energy. You know, when I was working at the shelter, we used to have to take the kids out for recreation and stuff like that. And I didn't want to anymore, you know, so I would stay home at the shelter. And I remember that there was one time that my coworker asked me to make white rice for the kids, and I didn't know how to cook. So I ordered it and didn't tell nobody. That's my funny, it just came up. This was when I first moved into my apartment. I'm gonna save it. I was so happy because it had good lighting. It has 3 windows in the living room, so you don't need to turn on the light when it's daytime. I was just so happy with my apartment. April, I remember being invited to 4 birthday parties. And I really was hoping that I didn't give birth just so I could take Chanel to those parties. Because I always like taking Chanel to parties. Always. Because I just know she's going to have a good time. She's always dancing. She's never shy. She be having fun by herself. She don't care if nobody play with her. Girl, that's what I was thinking about the whole month of April. I'm just like, if I could get these 4 birthdays out the way, I'll be okay with giving birth in May, you know? So I ended up taking my baby. And I'm going to show y'all pictures of that too. Of each party.
I've never seen nothing like this.
I love you very, mommy.
Give a kissy. You love her?
Oh my god, I remember when I told him that I was gonna name the baby Shailene, he was like, what the hell is that? I didn't want to tell nobody the name because I didn't want nobody to change my mind. That's mad funny. The ending of April, my mom decided to do me like a little baby shower. I didn't want nothing because, you know, I was going through a lot or whatever. The pregnancy, I feel like it was tough because of all the times that I went to the hospital. So I just wanted to rest, but she insisted. So she did everything, and I'm also going to post pictures of that too. And she did that by herself. She didn't care. To top off April, because this whole pregnancy, I had a car. In April, I did not have a car. April, got into a little car accident, and that's how I lost my car. I didn't really lose it. I could have fixed it, but I didn't want to because I was just so traumatized. I'm like, I don't even want to drive no more because I was paying $400 of insurance every month for a Honda Accord 2002. That's ridiculous. That was crazy. So I'm like, just, I don't know, sell the car. I don't know, do something. I don't care anymore. Like, I don't want nothing to do with this car. I got rid of it. So the beginning of May 6th, I took Chanel to another party that she was invited to. I was feeling like, that bitch, you couldn't tell me nothing. I'm fucking 9 months pregnant and I'm still taking my kids everywhere. You couldn't tell me nothing, for real. Like, I did not let my pregnancy affect Chanel at all. Like, this girl probably had the most fun that year. Like, I was out with her all the time. I had an appointment May 8th or May 9th. Sorry, really quick. She told me when I went to my appointment that there was no signs of me giving birth anytime soon, and my due date was May 11th. So he scheduled me for an induction, but May 10th, I was with Tata in Yonkers with my mom, in my mom's house. And I wanted to take advantage and get everything else that Shailene needed. She didn't really need anything. I just wanted to keep shopping for her because I know that when I give birth, I wasn't going to be able to. She took me to Burlington. She didn't even want to go to Burlington. I forgot to mention that Tata was also pregnant at the time. She came from Florida because she knew that I was about to give birth. She bought a one-way. Tata couldn't go into stores because she was always sick. She would get sick in these stores or whatever. So, and I still dragged her. I'm there on the line in Burlington and Central Avenue. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. What the fuck is going on? I felt like I couldn't breathe. It kept going, it kept coming. So tell me how I get home. And I'm gonna post pictures again because I posted all of this on my close friends. People kept telling me, and my mom kept telling me, don't go to the hospital because it's just gonna send you back home because my contractions were too far apart. So when I got home from Burlington, it was like 9-10 o'clock. Tell me that y'all see her low. Wait a minute. I think she's low. I took out my notes on my phone and I started writing down the time that my contractions would come. It was still like not consistent. It was like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, then 2 minutes. It was like too far apart, and then it was too close. It just didn't make no sense, but I couldn't take the pain because I have low pain tolerance. So I told my mom, call the ambulance. So the ambulance ended up coming, and they ended up taking me to the closest hospital to my mom's house, which was St. Lawrence Hospital in Yonkers. Nice hospital, very clean. I was happy. I said, oh shit, let me find out it's about to be a Westchester baby. So what happened? They checked me in. Tata comes with me because my mom's dad still with Chanel and the kids. I got checked in. The nurse tells me that I am 2 centimeters dilated. So they said, you have 2 options. 1, you can go back home. 2, you can wait around because it was slow or whatever. So they let me be in the room for a little bit. You can wait around and I'll come back in 3 hours to check if you've improved. I said, let me stay. So she come back like at 5 in the morning. And I still have all these messages on my phone. So I'm going to go back and confirm everything before I post this. And she's telling me, okay, yeah. You're, como que se dice? You're progressing very quickly. So we're just going to keep you. I said, okay. I was in pain. I was screaming. I was like, fuck. And you know, they couldn't give me the epidural because I didn't know if I was going to stay there or not and get birth that day. So around 5 in the morning, 6 is when I got everything. I got the epidural. And I remember when I was getting my epidural, it hurt this time. Like for Chanel, I don't remember my epidural hurting. But for Shay, it kind of did. And I remember I had like the anesthesiologist. ¿Cómo que se dice eso? I don't know. She was doing her thing, and then I had my nurse. She was Asian. She was skinny, really little. And she told me, oh, if it hurts, if you're about to get a contraction, like just squeeze me. And she was so close to me that I just ended up hugging her. Like anytime a contraction would come, I just squeezed the shit out of her. And she would talk to me through it like, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. She will hug me back, like, or if I'm holding her fist, like she will rub my hands. Like she was so good to me. After that, I was able to rest a little because I feel like the epidural now I feel like I know how this works. Like I already been through it the first time. Now I just know that I need to relax. I remember that they keep coming to the room to check me. When they came at 10, I was already 10 centimeters dilated at 10 in the morning. So I got to the hospital like at 11 or 12 at night. I gave birth morning, like 10:30. I gave birth 10:30 in the morning. I was just pushing, and I felt again the little ring of fire thing. Pushing again, so I already knew that the baby was coming. When Shailene came out, I didn't see her for a minute. They put her in the crib. When I gave birth to Chanel, they put her directly right here. But Shailene, they put her in the crib or cleaning her, but away from me. Everything I felt like they did to Chanel, they did it on top of me. But Shailene, they did her part. And I was feeling to see her, but they were stitching me up. I got like 2 stitches. They were stitching me up. I was bleeding a lot. You know, I had to wait. And I told my sister, I said, go take a picture. Go take a picture. I want to see how she looks. And when she showed me that picture, I was like, oh my God, she's so fucking cute. I cannot. She was the cutest thing. She literally reminded me of Miracle Baby. Like, them dolls. I was obsessed with her. Like, she was so fucking cute. When Shay was all cleaned up and when I was all stitched up and cleaned up too, my legs were still numb, so I couldn't walk. So they put me in a wheelchair to go up for to my room with Shay. I got in my room. I received a nice bag of toiletries. It was good. I feel like Tata was taking care of the baby more than me. I remember I was watching the Wayans brothers. I don't know. I grew up watching that show, and I was so hyped that they had it in the fucking hospital. And I was watching that, and I was sitting down, and I had Shay like in between my legs. I also had her on top of me, but they told me, you know, try not to keep her on top of you too much because you could end up falling asleep, or you know, we just never know. The next day, I ended up going home with my baby. I want to deal with the baby by myself in the house. Like, I already feel alone. Like, imagine me with a whole baby. So I stayed in my mom's house for like 2 weeks, I want to say. My mother-in-law came and she got her more clothes. My sister-in-law too. I needed a stroller and a car seat, and she brought it to me to the hospital.
Mira esa goita, mira esa goita. Ay, Dios mío, mi amor.
You have to be quiet. Cross the face, okay, baby? Okay.
Put your hands in it. It's clean already.
You know what her name is?
It's sister.
No. Baby?
Nice.
That's your little sister.
That's your sister.
You shy now? He was calling her all day.
I just called her.
Nice. Calling her?
same thing. I spent it at my mom's house. I tried to sleep in my house a couple nights with the baby, and I just couldn't. I felt like I couldn't. So Tata would stay with Shailene. Tata would stay with Shailene in my mom's house, pregnant. I would be here with Chanel, just getting rest. And that's part of the reason why I couldn't continue breastfeeding, because she spent a lot of time apart from me in the beginning. So I couldn't breastfeed. I tried though. I really wanted to breastfeed this time around, but I couldn't do it to myself. Pretty much quick recap for July. I was taking the kids out all the time. I would go pick up Jaslyn, I would go pick up the twins, and I would go out with Chanel. I would take them to the park, I'll take them to the pool, me by myself.
Look, I'm just trying to get a picture. Look. Hey!
I forgot to mention the most important part in July. The same day that Tata left, Tata was leaving in the afternoon or whatever, so we went out to eat, like for brunch kind of thing. We went to Dykeman to eat like a little brunch or whatever in a restaurant. But before that, the man was sleeping. He was sleeping, and I was getting ready or whatever, and I seen that somebody texted him, so I went to go look at the phone, and it's the same motherfucking name from Chanel's birthday. I said, no, you can't be talking to the cousin that much. I woke that motherfucker up so goddamn fast. I said, I ain't pregnant no more. So now it's game time. Girl, I was telling him, leave. I was throwing everything. And I don't know if y'all remember that hole was at the door, in my room door. And I made a motherfucking hole, bitch, because he tried to lock me out the room. And I fucking was, I wanted to take that motherfucking door down. And you know what? I calmed down. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave. Let me go get my brunch. But by the time I come back, you better not be here. Okay, thank you. I don't know what he ended up telling me that he still stood. August, that's when everything got real. And I was like, nah, I can't take this no more. I need to find out what he's doing. And I found out what he was doing, and I kicked him the fuck out. Yes, I did. All right, part 2 coming soon. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did for Chanel's birthday. I'm gonna talk about the first whole year up until her first birthday.